other side, they'll lose. So they were afraid of that. And the Council Budris, General Counsel Lithuania Budris, explained to them that you gotta buy them out or else you will lose your business.
Were your partners in the United States or were they in Lithuania?
In the United States, so all 6 partners were, including Monsieur Gold.
Was the council in Lithuania who was making decisions on this?
Because we were to represent them here.
Okay.
We were their sole representatives. So after that, I had to sign a certificate that I'm not going into that business for 2 years. And I discovered then a certain corporation by the name, I can't remember now. They checked legal channels and they found that they have no right to deprive me of making a living for more than 6 months.
Right.
So for those 6 months, I went, after I organized this Lithuanian American Import Export Corporation, Maistas sent their representative here, and Lietuvis sent their representative, Adolfas Akelaitis and Leopoldas Grigonis. They both college graduates in economics, so they were 2 Lithuanian citizens representing those corporations.
No.
And I was one American citizen in that corporation, in Lithuanian American Import-Export Corporation. And so I could not, even I organized, Kazis Gineitis came from London. He was Lithuanian commercial attaché in London. Came to Brooklyn, we met and we made all the plans and everything, and incorporated this Lithuanian American Import-Export Corporation. Since I was unable to work there, I went to Lithuania for 6 months, 1938. And after I came back, I came right straight into my office, which was, in the meantime, was closed, locked, and doors.
38 was when things were happening with Germany.
That's right. I just came back on time.
Yeah.
We had our business in 157 Chambers Street, New York City. And we were doing business quite successfully, so that we bought our own ship, loaded with merchandise, and
Denny.
send it to
And the name of the ship was Denny.
SS Dennis.
Dennis?
Denny.
Denny, yeah.
D-E-N-N-Y.
Denny. Okay, that's convenient.
Yeah. So,
What was it? What kind of ship was it? It wasn't a steam ship?
General cargo ship.
But it was beautifully furnished.
We converted it from banana ship. American Banana Company went bankrupt, and out of those 3 ships, we bought one of them. I remember, I think that's the name of the banana company was, that went bankrupt. And we bought that ship, and we loaded after remodeling, refurbishing, we loaded. And the night that ship got stopped at Boston to fill up their bunker oil for their own use, instead of carrying from Texas.
Right.
Hitler invaded low countries, and British government, which we were getting our what they called naval certificate, which entitled us to go to British naval blockade of Eastern Europe. So they sent a telegram, cablegram, that naval certificate such and so number so and so is cancelled as of this moment. I transferred right away to our captain on the ship who was loading, or just loaded up bunker oil in Boston, and was going out just 8 miles off the shore. They had to drop.
Well, when did we have the party? Before he left?
No, that's right way back, after that. So we got stuck there. We could not move anywhere that ship because we had a foreign registry on the ship, not American registry. Our foreign registry ship have to have special permits all the time when they come into American shore waters for doing any business. And we were doing business because we bought oil there. And so if ship, we enter into the war zones, which had restrictions then, and we were loaded with the aviation gasoline, full cargo of aviation, and
You got aviation gasoline on board too?
yeah,
Well, that's interesting cargo to carry.
very interesting, yeah, it was very hard to get the seamen to travel on it.
Right.
We made agreement that we bring back just the captain back to the United States, and the rest of the crew would disperse in Europe as they reached Šventoji seaport.
Which is Seaport, Lithuania.
Yeah. Since we could not transfer them across the water, they refused to leave the ship. They said,
Right.
we have a contract, you're gonna transfer us to Šventoji, and we're gonna get out there now, and we pay them ahead of time,
Right.
salaries and all. Now, we wanna stay here until you would transfer us there.
Sneaky.
So I worked for long, about 2 months, and finally, we agreed that Saucony Vacuum Oil Company will take our cargo, because what happened,
That's mobile. That's Saucony vacuum, that's mobile. Mobile oil. Today, that's mobile.
Mobile oil.
That's what they are today.
Aha.
That back then, it was Saucony vacuum of New York.
Saucony,
It was
yeah,
Standard
those
Oil of
days.
New York.
Aha.
But today, that's mobile.
Aha.
So they bought your
One of
cargo.
my partners was very, very clever businessman, and to get out of this problem, to free the ship from this cargo, we cannot dump the cargo in the water because it's flammable. We cannot move because we were in the short waters and did business. Therefore, we become subject of seizure. So now, my partner Grigonis, Leopoldas Grigonis, who represented Lietuvis in our corporation. By the way, Lietuvis Pieno Centras and Maistas put up $22,000 in the corporation, our corporation. So he he went to Saucony people, that was 5 Broadway, as I remember, New York City, and the president of the corporation, see, if I were not caught this way unprepared, I would have had the names.
Yeah.
But they made the business. The Grigonis explained to them that all the stations, gasoline stations that they had all over Lithuania, these people, those corporations, having contact with the government, convinced government that for Lithuanian economical benefit, they should transfer those gasoline stations, not gasoline stations, the gasoline business to them, to Lietuvis. So what happens to the stations that were gasoline stations that were all over Lithuania, and different individuals owned them, they were just buying from Saucony the gasoline,
Yeah.
they were left cold.
Right. Okay.
So Lietuvis comes in and picks up for nothing all those stations.
Right.
So the Grigonis explains to this president how unjustly they were treated there, and we, being representatives of those corporations, we apologized, and we tried to offer some kind of a settlement. Then he blinks his eye and say, would you be partly satisfied? Until later, we'll probably be able to help you better, but would you be satisfied if we just gave you this, I don't remember how many barrels of that gasoline we had there, if you took that gasoline from us now. So they had a meeting there, in about a week's time, we got the word that they agreed to take. Now we have no right to move that because we have to go to Hoboken,
Right.
New Jersey, where we agreed to remodel that ship. They agreed to take under their responsibility and unload that gasoline, Saucony Vacuum Oil Company, and leave us free of that cargo. So that's when I met Helen. I had a party on that ship before.
You didn't meet me on the ship, huh?
Ship left. No. Before ship left from
That was what we
Hoboken.
were gonna So we were at that party together, and Charles took me home first, and he took her home last.
Yeah.
Next day, we're in the choir, and Phyllis is in the choir with me. And she said, oh, I met this great person. She's, oh, he's handsome, and she went on and on and on. And I said, what is his name? And she said, Charles Vilniscus, and he's from Brooklyn. And I said, oh, really? And she said, have you met him? Yes. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm engaged to him. Poor Phyllis almost dropped dead.
But you weren't making this up at the time.
No,
No, we were already
We were already
Yeah,
engaged. And we were going to be married in January, right?
Okay. So how'd you meet then?
The funniest way, the fellow that I made coaxed to take my job in the newspaper as an editor.
Yeah.
He was working in the Darbininkas Lithuanian newspaper in Boston before he went back to Lithuania to finish his college.
Whom I knew very well.
She knew him well. She comes from somewhere islands vacationing and calls him up and I answered the phone and she says how it worked out.
Well, you answered the phone, and when Joe Lochka, by the way, got on the phone, I said, who is that fellow with that nice voice? And he said, well, that's Charles Vilniscus, and when you come back, maybe we'll get a chance to, get to see you. But I came back, and I met Joe in New York. We went to dinner and
World's
sat
Fair.
there until about
World's
12.
Fair.
No, not the World's Fair.
No?
Oh, I went to Cuba that time on the...
No. But then you come from Boston now to visit New York where you met me then. Oh,
I met
no.
you at Marianapolis.
Oh,
We're all mixed
yes.
up.
Joe and I go to Marianapolis College
Putnam.
in Putnam, Connecticut, whose president was Navickas, and he was the organizer. And he was trying to every which way to get me in there to teach physics and mathematics.
And to be a priest.
And of course, that's what they were eyeing. They were eyeing me to become Marian father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I go with Joe there to that picnic there, 4th of July, and this young girl comes. I didn't know that was the same one. Comes running towards me. Somebody pointed me out to her. Asked him.
No, I asked for Joe Lochka,
Yeah.
and they went in and you came out.
Yeah, I came out because Joe Lochka was gone somewhere, so I came out. I says, wouldn't I do to her? And that's how it became.
There you go.
And I said, well, I don't know, but I'd like to know where the ladies' room is.
Yeah, she was going to ask Joe. Lochka,
Well, I
where's the
knew
ladies'
Joe,
room?
we were very close friends. But as a matter of fact, everybody thought that Joe and I would end up together.
Uh-huh.
And everybody, there's a Lithuanian word, what's that Lithuanian word? Sympathia.
Sympathia?
Sympathia, that
Well,
means
that's Spanish. That means you're friends or
very
yes.
close,
Right.
dear friends.
simpatico.
So I was gonna ask Joe where the ladies' room was, and he comes out instead. And
He comes
that's
out
the way
instead.
it began, that was it.
So he was second choice to the ladies' room.
So we spent the day together, more or less.
But you, at that time, you were Vilniscus.
Yeah.
So when did you change to Vilnius?
When I came to New Haven,
Okay.
came to New Haven, I talked to this attorney there, which was a corporate attorney, and he made out my first will, our will, and he says, I want to tell you the secret. You don't want to spend any money if you want to change your name. You just change the way you want to do. He explained to me how it goes. It goes 7 years, nobody gets against it or anywhere, and you are in without any legal filings or anything. You keep 7 years. The first time when you began, you have to have some kind of either letter to yourself, address,
Yeah.
a name, a new name, or something. And and that's when we changed, when we came to New Haven. Among other funny, well, I don't know.
He's got something there.
This, the union organizing,
Oh.
and I was advised by this doctor, he was Polish name, I can't remember his name now, it was Metropolitan Avenue office he had there. He advised me not to show up too often at the sugar house on account of union is already there, and
Right.
somebody stepped in to take my place, so to say. I was given a hint that the thing that I ordered started organizing tailors union. I should encourage those people that were involved there. Don't get involved yourself, but encourage those people. And they became 54th council or whatever, don't remember what they, in ladies, International Ladies Garment Workers
Yeah.
Union. I had my finger in organizing that, which is, even today is alive.
That's alive, yeah, that's still going.
Yeah,
Because those are Chuck's pictures.
yeah.
They don't belong.
So that's when
But I put them in the envelope.
I ceased to be involved in unions.
But, okay, getting back to the ship, you had the ship and then you sold the oil, sold the jet
Okay,
fuel to
so
Mobil?
we sent to Bethlehem Steel shipyards in Hoboken, New Jersey, and we agreed we're gonna pay as I remember, $54,000 for remodeling that ship into general cargo.
Okay.
So we, on the top where the captain's tower was, we made 4 compartments.
Yeah, yeah,
Apartments like,
right.
so that we would, 3 of us partners in the corporation would have 1 for each one. We could give to anybody, travel, because we intended to travel between South America and the United States. Yeah. And 1 extra we had. So we refurbished that ship, and Bethlehem Steel agreed to wait until we gonna have enough money each month,
Right,
trip that we make with the cargo to South America somewhere,
to pay off
we
for it.
would pay so much a month. And it was very, very small additional fee, their interest on the balance, very small, I don't remember, 1.5% or less than 1.5% we would have to pay. So now we refurbished this ship, United States government
Confiscated.
Department of War Marine Service. Wait, is that it? Something like that, anyway. And takes our ship right from the shipyard.
But that was after Lithuania was invaded by Russia?
Oh, yes, already, yeah, already, and we were fighting our war in Africa. So they took our ship to
To be used for that,
to
sort
be
of.
used for carrying the Navy cargoes wherever they needed, that kind of a ship.
Did you get any money for it?
They were, in the meantime, the Russians claimed they took the Lithuania over and took everything there, and they forced the Lietuvis pieno centras and maistas directors to transfer that into
Russian,
the Russian hands. Amtorg.
amateur.
Amtorg
which
comes
is-
in with the policemen and
So this is there.
3 men into our offices, and right away Grigonis Zakilaitis points to me, because I'm American citizen. They are
Yeah,
not American corporate law requires that at least 1/3 of board of directors would be American citizens. So we have 3 directors. So
Oh,
1/3 I am
you're
American
it,
citizen.
yeah.
So they point at me, and I told them to please leave the office. They have no right whatsoever here with the police. No crime was committed of any kind. So they say for protection, oh, I don't intend to throw stones, rocks at you, or so. So policemen right away stepped out, and I told them that you go and explain to your superiors that this is American corporation. I'm American citizen. I'm the one that organized this thing, and we are doing this as American corporation, doing this business. So next thing we know, we received the papers from their lawyer.
Amtorg? Or,
I can't remember. That was Amtorg's lawyer, that they put the claim against properties of our Lithuanian American Export Corporation. So when this thing happens, of course, everything goes to court. So we have nothing, so to say, coming from it
yeah.
until court. So in the court, we had also, we thought was smart lawyer, but he was so smart that apparently he worked together with the Antok lawyer, that at the end of 3 or 4 years, going back and forth from one court to another, in one court we win, and we get encouragement that the next court will win, they will win. But we cannot help, we have to go. And so finally, we received the letter that unless we come up, then the war is ended already, and our ship was laid up in Baltimore Harbor somewhere as a surplus.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, after the U.S. military
The
used it.
military ceased to pay rental on it, but that rental was going to the court all the time.
So it's 1945 or so at this point.
So then our lawyer notifies that we have to come up with, I don't remember now, I think it was $10,000 if we want to continue this until fruition, positive fruition of all this fight with the Russians. So we refused because we lost everything that was paid in by the government as a rental, and then we didn't have $10,000 laying around, and that's when we disbanded the corporation. It's not legally disbanded yet. I think it's still registered excuse me, in Albany, but we ceased to exist. Yeah.
Whatever's happened to all the products?
What product?
Weren't there any products on the ship going to Europe at the time?
No, we gave to the Socorro.
The jet fuel they had, aviation gasoline.
Yeah.
You literally gave it to them. You didn't get much out of it.
Pardon?
You just literally gave that gasoline to them.
Right. Not we begged them
Take it.
to take it. Only we made so formality that we were, so to say, they are accepting as a part payment. But we begged them to take it because we were stuck with it.
Right. You can't get rid of it without it on there. Yeah. So let me switch this over to something else here, and because my battery's gonna run dead today.
When this was taken, she was not dead yet. This
When was this taken?
1988.
78. I think
I mean, no, 88.
I did that 78 just after we got married, I think.
Oh,
So it's 10 years ago.
I thought that you did this just yesterday.
Oh no, this is.
Can you imagine his capability?
Yeah, it's good that there's lots of misspells, I'll have to correct.
Oh. Well, please.
Yes, go on.
No, this is not on now.
It's on.
It's on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, since this thing began to take place, we were losing corporate business altogether. I was invited into Marshall's. They were import-export people. They wanted very much to get me into Marshall's.
Marshall's department store?
No, they were import-export business. What connections they had with the real Marshalls, I don't know. I don't think so. So we opened the store in New Haven, Connecticut as a, with intention, food store, food market. We took over from A&P, the self-service supermarket, with intention spreading more. But then it came many different things that into the picture.
But you bought them out.
We remained there only. I bought it for my own purposes, and that's why we make living New Haven, Connecticut, 68 House Street, New Way Market we call it.
New Way. So that was.
NUWAY.
That was through Marshall's.
No, I was not connected with Marshalls anymore. No.
You have no
But you just
connection
used
to
the
them.
proceeds to buy the market.
Yeah.
Set it up.
And that's where our children were born. That's where
In the market.
we lived. Well, most lived making very skimpy living.
You had some interesting characters that came through the market. This is the New Way market. This is
Yeah,
New Way right off of New Haven. Right off
Well,
of
not so many in the market as there was in the laundromat when they took
We had Will Chamberlain come through.
Among other things, in the market, in the laundromat, George Bush was our customer for quite, and he's scared. Mommy does not remember this thing.
I do.
He comes in and he says, "Helen, this is last time you see me." "What's wrong?" We'll fix it. What is it? What's wrong?"
Why
So,
didn't you?
no, she's
Get
jumping
out of
around,
here.
what's wrong? What-
You weren't
what
even
did
in
we-
there.
I was there, I was,
Right.
what's wrong? What did we do wrong? He says, no, nothing wrong. I was satisfied with your service, but this is, I'm leaving Yale University now. And that's the reason. So she got pacified and then she had a Utah's
Yeah.
nation, United
Yeah,
Nations.
Utah?
Yes.
Utah's nephew,
Yeah,
Nephew.
but he was still connected with his uncle when he was, and he used to come in the back of the laundry and sit with me for hours talking. He was a very young man, but he left a family, and he, just studied here at Yale.
Yeah.
But he was a very interesting young fellow, and I think he had about 3 or 4 children, and I don't think he was in his 20s. But he just,
That was Utah's nephew.
yeah.
that was his uncle that was in charge.
And then among other people was the United States ambassador to India was
Oh, yeah.
very controversial, little bit
I didn't think of his name.
scientist. He's a scientist that
This is ambassador to India back in the 60s, 50s.
about 50, 60, somewhere like that.
Oh boy, I can't remember who that was.
Well, nice, grown up, nice. He had a brother, and I think his brother passed away here just about a year or less than a year ago. Not him, because I think I have seen him after that now.
Oh, I had a lot of them. I had a college president, a woman, college president in New Haven, and I had a basketball player that lifted me up. And
Yeah, he used to live.
Will Chivern lifted you up.
he lifted me up on my table, I had a counter like, oh, he's so tall, I just about reached his elbow.
Yeah.
So he came in I did all the uniforms.
That's
And he came in and he lifted me up on the table and gave me a big hug.
what's this? That's a
And then I had the other ball player, the Bill,
Bill Russell.
he's still,
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell,
Bill Russell. Okay.
and he did the same.
no. This guy, he was with the
The Celtics.
Celtics. I thought he was with the.
No, now don't say that because he wasn't. He was with the Celtics. I know who you're thinking of, but he wasn't with them. The guys that are so terrific, but he wasn't.
Big black people.
No, they played the funny games,
Oh,
the
Harlem
lemon.
Globetrotters.
Yeah, no, he wasn't with them. He was with the Celtics.
Right.
And I used to do all the Celtics uniforms.
You did the
while-
Celtics uniforms.
Yeah, while they
What an
were.
honor.
Yeah,
Great
right.
honor, yeah.
But the honor was that I had a big kick out of them. Each one would come in and lift me up and say goodbye, give me a hug, and oh, jeez. And Bush was very pleasant. And then I had Nixon's
Daughter-in-law.
daughter-in-law,
Tracy.
the Cox.
or
Cox. Cox, yeah.
Yeah.
She comes
And
in.
she didn't say anything. She came in to say goodbye to me with this huge white dog. He was tremendous. And when he put his paws on my table there, he was way over my head. And she didn't say anything. She said she was going and so forth. And I said goodbye. And then when the television went on with the Nixon wedding, who's there is the maid of honor but my girlfriend?
Oh.
And I said to her, she said she was going to a wedding, but never said her brother was marrying the Nixon girl. Well, maybe she didn't want to, I don't know. But I was so surprised when I saw her. I said, well, that son of a gun, her name was Cox. I didn't even register it until she was there.
Oh yeah, among other things, you have brother-in-law, Chuck Willis Jr. He almost became a garbage collector in Petaluma.
Who's it, Chuck?
Chuck, he
Yeah,
got
but
into
it's
Yale
a basketball.
University, it's Yale University there, and after 1 year,
2
he
years.
felt that was,
2 years. He went off in his junior
it's not
year.
interesting. It's too dull. It's no challenge. How it happened first, he comes in, he matriculated for what? But not engineering. So he felt always that he's not pleasing me because he's not studying engineering. So one day he just showed